Good morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to Ka-Pow Comics Best of 2021. And I've lost track of what number we're on. Let's say, hang on, I've got my list here. Number 11, Rush, or The Rush, to be 100% accurate. And we're going to start with the title of it. Because it leans into an awful lot of what it does really nicely and what I love about this comic book. Because if you look at the title page there with all the information about who created it, check out all these people. They're all individually awesome and working together are even better. It's just called The Rush. Yeah? Cool. Bolt Comics presents The Rush. Except that isn't the full title. That's the full title. This hungry earth reddens under snow-clad hills. Now, I have mocked comic books in the past that have had ridiculously long titles. That works for me. Hard to explain exactly why, but there's something a little bit more poetic about that and the fact it's put together as an acronym, as opposed to Critical Vox Machina presents Critical Role Origins Volume 3 Princess whatever of Alexandria. Sometimes a very long title is just a description, and it's not great, but it works. This is more than a description of what's going on. It evokes what's going on in a poetic way, and that is brilliant. Honestly, you read that and you think to yourself, okay, know what about a title. It's Rush, it's going to be a Gold, it's going to be Appalachian. But then you get that horror element when you get to the blood-soaked hills, snow-clad hills. Hungry Earth reddens under snow-clad hills. I mean, yes, it's kind of over the top, but it works really nicely. It's the kind of writing I actually absolutely love. And it's it can work brilliantly, but it doesn't always. It's kind of why this is quite high, or low down, I suppose I should say, on my best of the year list, where it could be higher. Comes down to the fact that, in the grand scheme of things, two of my favorite genres are, for comic books at least, are westerns and horror. And you throw those two things together, and it can be absolutely brilliant, but it isn't always. In fact, sometimes it can be quite bad. It's quite frustrating, in fact, that it's two genres which, while not being overly represented in the first place, apart from horror, which gets everywhere, very rarely represented together. And when they are, it can be very, very hit and miss. And I've liked this genre since I was a teenager, should I say. And I discovered the tabletop role-playing game, Deadlands, and it really did a great job of mashing those two genres together. And lots of the really good things I like about it. But it was like, right, okay, this works for me. It hit me exactly where I live, and I've kind of gone out of my way to seek this stuff out, including watching the rather wonderful James Earl Jones movie, about which portmanteau of him telling horror stories out on the prairie is absolutely brilliant. Grim Prairie Tales, go and check it out. This one, it hit me really effectively because it kind of embraced what I love about a lot of Western stuff. If you've never seen it, go and watch the TV series, or watch the movie, TV series Deadwood, and watch it from the beginning right through to the end, and see how different the language they use is. And I'm not talking about the swearing, that stays fairly consistently 18 plus throughout. I'm talking about sentence structure and conversational structure. It isn't how we speak now, and it starts a little bit closer, and they gradually ease you into how people would speak in the Victorian, especially the American Victorian era, which is known as the Golden Age of Cowboys. And it's kind of frustrating at times because honestly, it's so different and so disorganized that you kind of have to let your mind take a couple of swings at a sentence before you fully get it. It doesn't take long for this comic book to do something similar. Never quite to the extreme edge, which I think is a good idea. Don't go straight into that one. Ease it in. This is Cy Spurrier being a very, very good writer. In fact, he is such a good writer that it was his name on it that convinced me to pick it up in the first place, not even the genre, although I do like that kind of thing. Cy Spurrier's Hellblazer from last year was absolutely brilliant and deserves all the praise it gets. Him doing a horror again, I was totally into it. And it is one of the best written comic books I'm reading at the moment in terms of dialogue and story structure. There's an awful lot of it done as box out text and expositions explaining what's going on, but even that is handled expertly. It's done as an icy kind of, role-play head on there, basically an in-world diary or letter, and it works effectively because it is the voice of a character rather than just a voice of a narrator in the world, and it absolutely helps set the tone and it helps set the speed as well. Now, Clive Gooden is a great artist. It's not Clive Gooden. No, I keep saying Clive. Michael Gooden is a. Now I have to check. Now I'm not sure if I've got his name right. No, Nathan Gooden. Third time, really lucky. I do apologize, Mr. Gooden. He is a brilliant artist. If you want to know how good he is, you can go back a few days and check out the Barbaric one I did, which is also in my best of the year. That's how good he is. He's got two different books in my best of the year. That's how much I love his artwork style. It's great. And in this one, that other kind of in Barbaric, he did a lot of world building with his artwork. In this, it's more like he's supporting the world building that the writing is doing, but that doesn't take away anything at all. There is some rather wonderful horror moments. There is some genuinely uncomfortable things to see, but he does it with style and panache throughout. The reason that this is where it is on my list, to say how much I've just told you, that I absolutely love the writing, I love the world building, I love the artwork, I love the genre, I love the cross-genre mashup. Why is it not higher up on my list? Well, the truth of the matter is, it's only 2 issues in, and pacing for something like this could be an issue. Because I like a slow burn comic book. I like slow burn everything, really, and westerns really help with that, and some of the best horrors do as well. Don't believe me? Go back and watch Alien, the original, and see how long it takes to become a horror story. How much of it is just setting everything up and introducing characters and doing world building, making sure we're all on the same page, and building up suspense in ways that don't feel like they're in a horror movie, but they are still definitely there. That kind of pacing is brilliant. Watch some of the best westerns and how long it takes to get to the point. I mean, not even say one of the best ones of all time, but one that's recently out there, or fairly recently out there. Go watch The Hateful Eight. Not only do they take a really long establishing shot with the music building up throughout it, the main crook of the movie is set in the haberdashery, and they don't get there for almost an hour. They take their sweet time. The reason it's not higher up on my list is because I'm not sure exactly how they're going to handle that timing. Because there's 2 ways you can do it. You can go, they took their sweet ass time getting there, or god damn, they took their sweet ass time getting there. And it could go either way at this point. I think it's leaning more towards the first. I hope it is. Spirit is a great writer, but it also has the possibility to just play with world building just a little bit too long, because there's certainly signs that they are loving doing their world building in this. I'm hoping it's not. I'm hoping the flashes and splashes of horror that we've had in there, the intensity of the characters, because the characters have done brilliantly as well. There's like a big chunk of issue 2 spent just with one character. Well, not just with them, but like building up their character traits, and it's absolutely time well spent. I'm hoping that this is happening for a reason, not just because it's fun thing to do, although it's a fun thing to do, and it's a fun thing to read. Fingers crossed this could be something which ends up way higher on my actual like final what I absolutely love this year. But for now, I have to play it a little bit safe. All right, that's it from me today. I will be back tomorrow with another one, and also do my new comic book day video. And if you want my reviews, go check us out on TikTok at Ka-Pow Comics UK. And if you want reviews, basically for all of December, they're going to be up there. But until then, look after each other, everyone. Stay safe. Bye.